F1 movie review. Have to take advantage of the 5G fast upload speeds. But this is a nice film. I like this film a lot. I thought it was good. So I watched someone else's review, and they mentioned maybe the character development takes a back seat to it. There's a scene like where the engineer lady, she invites both of them, Brad Pitt and Joshua. She invites them both to come for like dinner, but they don't know that it's like a dinner between the three of them. They think maybe it's like a team dinner type event thing, and so that was kind of cute, right? The little trick, but she does that to bring them close together to settle the differences. And Joshua says like, oh, he doesn't listen. He's always trying to impose his way on the team. But I didn't get that vibe from him at all, that he's trying to impose anything. Like, I think they ask him, like they're having their team meeting for the advice, like what are we gonna do, what's the strategy, and he's just like kind of putting his input in it. Is it? he's the senior, I guess he's a senior F1 driver, but he still races occasionally. He wins, like we opened the film and yeah, he wins Daytona. Actually, he wins a race in Daytona Beach. I'm not sure how grand winning Daytona race is, and that's kind of cool. It was cool to see. Oh wow, that's like I've driven past that place, that actual arena, So it's cool to see. Like, oh shit, that's the Daytona. That's where the character was. That's where they filmed the beginning of the film. They filmed here and locally. That was for the very beginning, was it? The Daytona scene and all that stuff. But it's and I didn't catch it when I watched this other person's review. I didn't catch that Banderas, not Banderas. What's his name again? Fucking No Country for Old Men. Javier Bardem. His character apparently was a racer too, I guess, but and like he's retired, and I guess Brad Pitt's somewhat retired. I don't know. He's gone through bankruptcy. He's gone through a divorce. He's gone through some hardships in his life, right? Some ups and downs. He was a gambling junkie apparently. I guess a lot of the money that he had, he doesn't have it now. So now he's living out a van. He's transient, sort of. He doesn't have kids, as far as I'm concerned. There's no responsibilities of that nature to tie him down. He's just a person alive, living on their own. It's nice that he's got this ambition to race in this, and I guess this is a real race too. This some race in Baja California, all over these sand dunes out there. So that's kind of cool. He's got ambitions to do some race out there, and he does do this towards the end of the film. He just likes driving. That's what it is. What does he do it for? He does it for the race, for the driving, just for the sake of doing it. There's no other reason besides that. It's but I like the chemistry. I like the, with him and Joshua, Joshua is not happy to have him, and he's arrogant, cocky. He's actually like ages. He makes some degrading comments about his age, but like Brad Pitt, I feel like he's probably the person that looks good for his age. Like the actor themselves, not even the character, but like just the actor themselves, they're probably older. Maybe they're like towards their 60s or so, right? But you wouldn't guess that they're perhaps as old as they are, because they do look really good for the age, but it's kind of funny, right? When his mom, because he tells his mother mentioned, oh, like, you got a new partner now. It's not this Brazilian guy, whatever. And what do you call the mom mentions it to him, like, oh, hey, like, what is he like? He says, oh, he's super old. He's like 80. Like, it's not cool at all. And then when she sees a picture of him, she's like kind of smitten. It's kind of funny. I mean, there's a crash scene in this film where Joshua crashes the car. But the reason he crashed is because he didn't listen to, and I like that we get later in the film that he tells the mom the truth. So we know, like, he didn't, in that moment, I guess maybe he felt bad. So he didn't say, like, oh, by the way, like, don't get mad with him. It was me. I'm the reason that I fucked up and crashed the car. No, he doesn't tell his mom that. He just keeps it to himself. But I like later in the film, he does actually own up and he admits to this. And he says, yeah, actually, you know what? It was me, actually. I didn't listen. He told me he gave me the heads up what to do, kind of the heads, you know. But no, he didn't listen to it. And so he ultimately, when they crashed the car, it was him. It was his. Because he told him, like, the bend, don't shoot, wait to take the curve, and then shoot the car. Then shoot it forward. Don't do it so soon. But he said, well, maybe I can take him now. There's this cool thing where, what's his name? Oh yeah, what's that guy's name? I just said his name too. Brad Pitt's character. He does this. He runs around the track that he races. Right. He does that. He runs the tracks. He does his jogging routine. And it's cute to see that, you know, at some how he gradually the team members join him on this jog that he does around the track. And the one thing that's kind of interesting, I guess maybe they do this, the drivers, they do have like a workout routine, they stay fit. Maybe it's camera. There's definitely some mental work to go into this, right? It's mentally draining for sure. There's some physical, I guess, because you get clutching the buttons and so on. But I would imagine it's maybe more mental focus. But perhaps having a healthy mind means having a healthy body. So likewise, you need to work out in that regard too. And so that would be, but yeah, in this film, I like when, you know, Joshua is getting this his whole setup is like to the max. They're testing his reaction speeds. They got fucking heart monitors and blood pressure shit hooked up to him when he's running. They test his blood actually. They take blood sample from him. They got this really rigorous testing for him. Even had this virtual racer thing. They test him with the virtual racer. I remember seeing this in Cars 3, it was, right? The virtual racer thing. So it's cool. Like, yeah, it's based off something real. Like, though, they do have this. So they have the flight simulator. So I guess it makes sense. They'll have like a car driving simulator in this. And it sure beats actually having to use gas and resources to potentially crash your car while you're just practicing, mind you, not actually in the track racing, but while you're practicing. Although they do have him practice driving too, because we see in the film that he does this as well. He practices racing. Even we see how he does this in the film. I think Brad Pitt, the character, I think he lost, like, there's these different metrics that they're testing for. He lost 2 of the metrics. And it's also kind of fitting that he doesn't get in the car, he gets it right away. He does fumble and fail. So he does fail 2 of the passes. But I think he wins the last one. But I think he wins the last one at a cost for wrecking the car or so. But I guess maybe it depends on your team, right? If how many times you wreck the car, they like fire this driver. They're always, because these cars are mad expensive, aren't they? That's not a standard vehicle, right? It's a vehicle. It's not a car you take, you modify it. I mean, that's expensive too, but this is a car that's made specifically to be raced, to run on these types of tracks, you know. And the Formula One, the F1 cars, I'm not quite sure. I guess that's what you would call them. I don't think they race in any other races. They only race in these ones, perhaps. It's when he's racing the race car, Brad Pitt in Daytona, it was like the one that's like a sedan type race car where it's a plastic body and the metal frame. He does this thing where he races a whole like slam. He like kind of races dirty, I guess. He races with aggression. He'll slam his car into the other guy's car, like, let me pass, I guess. Like, kind of like subdue them, to make them submit into passing. And the guy even gets, one of the dudes even gets angry at him. He's coming at him and he's holding a wrench in his hand just in case. I like that he was like prepared just in case. You gotta whack a bitch, right? There's also like this love plot sort of thing in the film, but it doesn't particularly go anywhere. That doesn't, which, you know, I guess that's reality. Sometimes the love doesn't go anywhere, but it was sort of. I mean, did we need it? Not particularly. We probably perhaps could have done without. That was probably one of the parts of the film they could have cut from the story, I think, and we still could have had a strong, solidified charactership with these characters, like a good friendship bond, a good dawning of a new relationship that wasn't necessarily romantic, just good friendship, good co-workership, was it? especially because it doesn't lead anywhere. It's sort of bleak in the end. And I didn't catch this, but because she asks him like, "Would I ever see you again?" And apparently he tells her later down the road, some sort of analogy with driving or something. And so probably not then, right? Probably nothing will result to this. Is like, yeah. So that's probably something you could have cut from the film, perhaps. I like that Joshua. I think he's probably still he's like, I don't know if the apartment's his or his mom or they reside together, but I thought it was sort of sweet. It's cute that this guy's got he's famous, he's getting money and stuff, but he still keeps a good relationship with his mother. They're still close. He still talks to her, right? That's the advisor. I like when his manager wants him to do all these different things to build his image, his brand, to have him like a sort of a separate brand, like him as himself, and which is good. I guess the manager should want you to do that, help you with that. But he's also sort of, I guess, about the party. He's also enjoying himself with the whole party aspect of it. And but there's one point where the manager, he wants him to do something other than when Joshua, I think he said he just wants to race. He wants to focus on racing, be present with that. And he said, no, we got to go do the press. We got to do a photo shoot here. And then we got an interview set up. He says, no, I don't want to do any of that. And he looks to his mom. He looks to his mom to see what she'll say. And I like that the mom said, you heard the man. You got to ask him. Listen, you heard him, but you need to ask him. I don't know why you're looking at me. I don't tell him what to do. He's his own person. So I like that. I like that the mom has that resolve to say, like, it's not my decision to make. This is, you got to ask him. You're not managing me. You're managing him. You're his manager. I'm not his manager. I'm a support. I just mutter. This movie has a nice, there's like a villain guy in the film. There's some stockbroker guy. Of course, he loses in the end. He actually tries to steal Brad Pitt because they really like Brad Pitt. The customers, not the customers, I guess they are the customers in a way, but the fans, one thing that's supposed to seem to start him, because, it's like an underdog type vibe, I guess, basically. Like, he's this washed out F1 driver that had a bad rep. He had not a bad rep, a bad crash. It took him out I think actually it took him out entirely. He comes back way down the line. And so it's like maybe 30 some ish years, like he was in his 20s. He's like, maybe in his 50s, that's like 30 some fucking years ago or something. Like, it's so like a nice, underdog story coming back into the fold. And but this film was nice. I liked this movie. I liked it very much. I enjoyed it. It's 2 hours and so minutes. It didn't feel that way to me. I feel like the runtime, it did run as smooth. I mean, you can tell it's like, it's a long movie, but for me, it kept the pace well enough. It kept me engaged well enough that I didn't feel like, oh my God, it's just so long. Sometimes a movie can be so long that it feels like it drags. But I didn't feel the runtime with this. It kept up the pace nicely, which I liked very much. What else was there to say? Not much. I liked it. It's good. I enjoyed it. F1 movie review. Thank you for listening.